Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching Healthy Alternative. Today, I want to talk about the benefits of Michael, and today we're going to be talking about.
Today we'll be making one of my favorite soups.
Welcome to the
tomato
JR72 Challenge.
I am Animated Mel, and I am your mental and wellness coach for
As always, perfection is not needed, but consistency.
We must first lovingly accept what is. You can't heal a body you hate.
So today's a cool topic, and I'm doing this because I want to give you guys some pretty simple insight on what it is that a lot of you guys are looking for, which is weight loss. And sometimes I think that the weight loss that we talk about on the YouTube channel and the things you guys see, sometimes I think that could be a little overwhelming for people. I think people will see that and believe that's not true. They can't really do that, or somebody's special. And so I decided that I wanted to come up with a more palatable number, something that people probably feel like they can actually do. So we're going to talk about how you could lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks using some simple steps, some simple tips. All right. What I've learned is that the body will release weight very quickly if you understand how to kind of manipulate the body and talk to the body and also listen to the body. So that's what we're going to get into tonight. And then, of course, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, you could drop those in the chat as well. Now, the first tip or step to losing weight is to reduce how frequently you eat. So we want to look at how frequently we eat, and then we want to look at the density of the foods we consume when we do eat. But my first tip that you guys have heard before is to cut out breakfast. So we've all been taught that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That was very specific marketing aimed towards getting us to eat more. They wanted us to become consumers. There were a lot of up and coming markets and industries that needed people to fund them to purchase their products or to purchase their waste from other things they were doing. And so they came up with propaganda to get us to change our habits. And they said it in the name of health, which I think is despicable, personally. If you're going to talk about health and wellness, do it from a place of honesty and genuine purpose, not to manipulate people and to get them to abuse food. So what happened is we started eating a lot of breakfast, and there was a lot of literature put out or science put out to support that eating breakfast was important. The thing you got to understand about it is no matter what it is, there's always going to be science to back it. That is the reason why I don't use scientific studies and information as the sole barometer for whether or not I believe something works. There has to be some level of personal accountability in everything you do, especially as it relates to your health and wellness. So if you hear something from the scientific community that says over the past 100 years, we've conducted 1,000 studies and the studies say X, Y, Z, okay, cool. That's good information. Thank you for that information. It is now your job to test that information in real life to see if it's applicable to you, right? So that is where your personal accountability comes into play. So the first thing that I learned was that the over consumption of food is going to either keep our weight maintained. Like if we're overweight, it's going to help maintain our obese state, or cause us to slowly gain weight. Okay. Now they even tried to tell us at some point that eating more frequently was actually good for weight loss. And so in the 90s, they were teaching us to eat 6 small meals in order to increase the speed of your metabolism and help you burn weight. And that was also a fallacy. So we did these things. Okay. If you just look at the explosive weight gain in America from the 90s, the late 80s or whatever, to 2000, you'll see the explosive weight gain. And during that time, we were listening to all the traditional wisdom. But the problem is, it's like we don't put two and two together. It's like they tell us the wrong thing, but because they tell us with such authority, we continue to do the wrong thing. So we got to have personal accountability. So skipping breakfast. Now, what that essentially means is you're going to delay breaking your fast for anywhere from 4 to 5 hours first thing when you wake up. Most people ask me, Chris, what happens if I work overnight or if I have a weird schedule or whatever? So to make it as simple as possible, whatever time you wake up, delay your first meal 4 to 5 hours. And when I say your first meal, it doesn't have to be a full meal. I know a lot of times we think of breakfast as pancake, eggs, bacon, toast or a biscuit. And then on top of that, we have an orange juice or something like that. No. Breakfast can literally be a banana, an orange, some watermelon, a fruit salad, or a regular salad. It could be a smoothie. There's many, many options. I would highly recommend that if you guys are going to, if you're going to consume something early like that, it needs to be super light. It needs to be super light. But as it relates to losing, 15 pounds in 2 weeks, we're going to have to be disciplined. I would highly recommend you just skip breakfast altogether. That means you've got 2 other meals, okay? This doesn't mean that you're going to add another meal. So, if you're used to eating 3 square meals a day, you're not going to push your meals out and still have 3 square meals. You're going to eliminate breakfast altogether. You're going to go right into your first meal, which would be, like your noon meal. Typically, lunch is what people would refer to it as. So that is the first tip. It's very, very simple. Skip breakfast. Okay. The second tip is you want to be drinking water. You want to be drinking water. You want to be drinking fresh squeezed fruit juice or plant juice, I should say. You want to be drinking and consuming natural products with no added sugars, no preservatives, no pasteurization, none of that. Okay? You want fresh squeezed juice. You want water. You could do herbal teas. Now, I know some people are going to argue about coffee. Coffee can have some benefits. It can act as an appetite suppressant. It helps people move their bowels. The thing is this. Coffee has benefits, but it also has some side effects. The main thing that I don't like about coffee is that it's a diuretic. So if our goal is to lose weight and to do it efficiently and healthily, we want to stay hydrated, which is why I'm telling you all to drink the fruit juice, the fresh pressed fruit juice. We don't want to be drinking a whole bunch of coffee to kind of like negate that, because coffee is a diuretic. It's going to cause you to expel water. So I implore you, if you're going to drink coffee, you feel like you just need it or whatever, keep it black, keep it simple, and keep it very moderate. Very, very moderate, okay? But I would recommend just not to drink the coffee at all. So the second tip is simple. Drink water. We typically recommend a gallon of liquid a day. So if we're doing water, if we're doing juice, and we're doing herbal tea, you could split that up into thirds, right? And you could do a little bit over a liter for each a day. Or you could simply do, half a gallon of water and half a gallon of juice. It doesn't matter. You could do it however you want. But my recommendation is either a gallon of water or a gallon of liquid with a combination of water, juice, and herbal teas. Now, herbal teas mean that you're not going to be consuming traditional caffeinated teas. The teas you're going to buy from the store, they're going to come in the little satchels or whatever. That's not what we're talking about. This is going to be a loose leaf tea. You're probably going to go to a tea shop to find it. There's going to be no added chemicals, no added sweeteners, no GMOs. Run the gambit. You need to make sure that your stuff is natural. And then also, when I specifically say herbal teas, because if you're going to be drinking this tea, it needs to be for a medicinal purpose. Whether you want to, maybe it's something you take to help you sleep at night. Maybe you take it to help you move your bowels. Maybe you take it for, detox symptoms, hunger pangs, whatever the case may be. AHA actually has a tea, an herbal blend that's designed to help to suppress the appetite. So an appetite suppressant tea would be incredible for this process. If you're looking to lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks, the less appetite you have, the easier it will be for you to implement all of these strategies. You could actually replace your coffee with the appetite suppressant tea. So if you guys go to ahealthyalternative.org in the shop, the appetite suppressant tea is there. It's fully stocked. And so that would be a good option to add to your regimen. Okay? So drink your water, drink your fresh squeezed juice, drink your herbal teas, and that is the second tip. All right? Now, the third, this is kind of like second part of the second tip. You really want to stay away from, obviously the non-herbal teas. You want to stay away from alcohol. You want to stay away from wine. You want to stay away from processed juice. So it's important that you understand the difference between the natural stuff and the unnatural stuff as it relates to like the juices. So for example, Tropicana would be a processed juice. Okay? If you guys understand the way that they make Tropicana, they might start with an orange, but by the time you get to the end product, it's basically not an orange at all. All the nutrients have been stripped away. They've artificially colored it. They've artificially flavored it. They add preservatives. It's a completely different product. So we got to understand the difference. You got to ask questions. Okay. You can go and purchase juice from the store that's already been pressed for you, but you just need to ask and understand, maybe a little bit of research. Don't get caught up, in the propaganda of, there's certain brands that'll say simply lemonade or organic or whatever, and it's not the product, it's the name of the brand. So we got to understand the difference. And if you want to cut through all the red tape, you could just simply fresh press your stuff at home. Obviously, alcohol and wine are a no-no during this time. We want to make sure to cleanse our body. We want to boost detoxification. So there's a lot of things that we want, and just alcohol and wine are going to just simply complicate things, okay? So that's kind of like a second part of the second tip. Third tip, we're going to eat no more than twice a day, as I mentioned earlier. However, one of your meals needs to be a raw meal, okay? So what is a raw meal? Raw means that you're not going to heat the food more than probably about 115 degrees. So this is usually going to be something fresh. It's basically going to be uncooked. There are some, like I said, there's some wiggle room with it. The reason why you don't heat it is because you don't want to kill the digestive enzymes. There's natural enzymes in the food that aid your body in digestion. And when we heat our food, when we cook our food, it makes it much more difficult for the body to digest. Now, when we talk about packing on weight, putting on pounds, the problem that we see more often than not is improper digestion of food. Now, why you're not digesting food properly, there could be many different reasons why you're not digesting food properly. But at the end of the day, the reality is you're not digesting food well. Either you're not breaking it down completely, you're not extracting nutrients from it, it's getting stuck and starting to ferment or rot in the stomach. It's plastic, so it's not even real food. It's not real nutrient. So on and so forth. You're not eliminating the waste from what you eat fully or completely. All of these things can be problematic, especially if you get bloating, you have digestive issues, you might get swelling. This is water that's going to get added to your system, and that's going to make you gain weight. Bloating and inflammation and things of that nature. So in order to make this thing streamlined and efficient, you want to make sure that you are eating foods that are going to complement our digestive system. Make it as easy as possible to digest food, and it really doesn't get any better than natural raw food. Now, there's, like, you can't just eat anything raw. I'm actually more leaning towards fruit to eat raw over vegetables. So there's sometimes confusion about what a fruit is, what a vegetable is. So briefly, a fruit is the ovaries of a plant. Okay, it's going to have seeds. Those are fruits. Now, obviously, we have some genetically modified fruits that don't have seeds, but typically they're going to have seeds. When you look at the plant, the rest of the plant can be considered a vegetable. So the leaves, the stems, the roots, those can all be considered on the vegetable side. So there's the distinction. So when I say let's lean more towards fruits, I'm not talking about necessarily sweet fruit. For example, over the summer, I grew some Kusha squash. It's a beautiful squash. It gets huge. It's got green and cream stripes. It's just a beautiful piece of fruit. But most people would look at it, in America at least, we look at it as a vegetable because of the marketing that we've experienced growing up. We've been taught that things that are definitely fruits are vegetables. It gets confusing. So maybe just understanding, like, what are you consuming that's actually a fruit? Like I said, squash, bell peppers, tomatoes, avocados, cucumbers, eggplants. These are all fruits, okay? So some of you might be like, oh no, Chris, some of those are vegetables. No, vegetables would be broccoli, lettuce, kale, dandelion, celery. Those would be considered vegetables. Now, I would also put fungus, I shouldn't say fungus, but mushrooms in the category with fruit. I'm not saying that a mushroom is a fruit, but I'm saying that I would put mushrooms in the category where you can eat it raw. It's just it digests really well. It's great for you. Okay, so I would not consider a mushroom a vegetable, but I would say it's okay to eat it raw just like you would with your fruit. Now, your vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, things of that nature, I would probably steam that. I would probably break it down just a little bit. There's different ways that you can soften it up and make it easier to digest. You could soak it in some salt water and lemon. There's some things you could do, or you could, like I said, you could just steam it. But I would actually eat that a little bit steamed or broken down versus just eating it raw, because it can cause digestive issues. It could kind of have a reverse effect. Some people don't digest that stuff well. So if you guys go to YouTube, there are so many channels that could teach you about raw foods and what you can eat, and you can have a lot of fun with it. It does not have to be boring. As a matter of fact, I would challenge you during this time, if we're going to be looking at the next 2 weeks to lose weight, during this time I would say, hey, play around with your diet. See what you can eat raw and have fun with and enjoy and like, and maybe make that a regular part of your dietary strategy. So one meal is raw. That is the third tip. Now, along with the eating part, when we typically eat, a lot of times we do what's called grazing. This is where we're going to be eating all day long. People have different eating profiles and personality types, but a lot of Americans, at least, we eat all day long. We graze, and part of that is because of the addictive foods, chemicals that are put in our food. The other part is culture. We've developed a culture around food. So whether we're at work, whether we're on break, whether we are at a funeral or a wedding, whether it's a birthday or a birth, we are eating. Okay, we eat with every occasion, and because of convenience stores and snacking and just all of the prepackaged stuff we have available, it's convenient to eat on the go. It's convenient to eat. We just eat all the time. So we have to stop snacking in between meals. So when we're having our 2 meals, we're just having 2 meals. We're not having 2 meals plus snacks. I know that's a very popular talking point that a lot of people, projected in the 90s and even in the 2000s, just like have all these snacks and all this stuff. Cut that stuff out. Eat during very specific windows of time. You're going to sit down, you're going to eat meal 1, which might be lunch. You're going to sit down, you're going to eat meal 2, which might be dinner. But the tip is don't eat after 8 p.m. Okay? Now, once again, some of you all might be working overnight and stuff like that. So you might be like, Chris, I don't even wake up until 4 or 2, whatever it is. So then the goal would be for you not to eat, I would say, between 2 to 4 hours before you go to sleep. Okay? If you can stop eating 4 hours before you go to sleep, that's better. That's better. So either stop eating, don't eat after 8 p.m., okay? Either don't eat after 8 p.m. if you're on like a traditional schedule, or if you work some weird overnight schedule, graveyard shift, whatever, do your best to stop eating 4 hours before you go to sleep, okay? So that's the tip number 4. If you guys do this, what it'll do is it'll give the body ample time to digest the food. So not only are we going to be increasing the quality of the foods we're eating, hydrating the body well, but we're also going to give the body much more time to digest because you're not snacking throughout the entire day. That means your body, if you're just going to eat your meal at lunch and no snacking in between, your body has X amount of hours to digest. And then if you stop eating after 8 p.m., that means as your body switches cycles and goes into a different cycle as far as your circadian rhythm goes, it kind of will do it on the proper schedule versus trying to keep up with the last cycle where you were still consuming and eating food. So this is like a really simple hack that you could do to help. Obviously, we talked earlier about cutting out, alcohol and stuff like that. Just by cutting out soda. Like if you drink soda every day, these are very simple things you could do that will begin the weight loss process. But we're going to do them in a very concise format to kind of optimize our results and our benefits. Okay? So the next tip I got for you guys is to cut out the processed foods. So when I mentioned soda, the reason why I say if we just cut out soda, you're going to probably start to lose weight, especially if you're a big soda drinker. The reason why is because it's a processed food. It's a processed food high in fake sugar. And there was a video, I think on a live stream last week or something, I said, sugar, either sugar causes weight gain, or if you stop consuming, processed sugar, you'll lose weight. I can't remember exactly what I said, but somebody in the comment section thought I was wrong. They thought that sugar had nothing to do with weight gain or, becoming obese or whatever the case may be. I don't know why people are so misled, but I'll do my best to be clear. All sugar is not created equal, number one. Okay, so when I talk about sugar, I'm talking about highly processed, refined sugar. We're not talking about fresh sugar from, fruit or something like that, a plant. We're talking about the sugar that is akin to cocaine. That's what we're talking about. That's what's going to be in all your processed foods. It's in your bread, it's in your pasta, it's in your soda, of course. It's in your salt. It's weird. They put it in literally everything. So by being mindful of the sugar, the processed sugar, but not just the processed sugar, holistically, we want to cut out processed foods. Okay? Now, processed foods is a spectrum. So what that really means is we want to cut out the highly refined processed foods. If you go to Kroger, Publix, or Kressler, or whatever local grocery store you have, if you go to the grocery store and it's in a box or a package, it's a processed food, okay? Now, they might take like some bell peppers and put them in a package, but that's just whole food packaged together, right? I'm talking about something that has, a 20 something ingredient list. It's got ingredients you can't pronounce, things of that nature. If you go over to the produce section and you shop almost exclusively in the produce section, for the most part, you're going to stay away from all the processed foods because they're on the inside of the store, okay? So go find yourself some bell peppers or some natural grains like spelt or kamut or, some wild rice, whatever the case may be, and add those to your dishes to eat, okay? Outside of your raw meal, right? If you're going to do like a grain or something, you want to have you want to cook that, and you want to do that with your natural grains. There are some grains and things you can sprout. Okay, you can always go that route, but that's a lot of work, and I'm not really pushing y'all for that in this video, but that is an option as well. But the point is, if you stay away from your processed foods, you're going to have a high likelihood of losing weight just because you don't have the added sodium. You don't have the preservatives. You don't have the different chemicals that are in there, whether it's sugar or something toxic where the body has to flood the system with water. It's going to create inflammation or mucus in the system that's going to cause you to gain weight or maintain your weight. If you get rid of those foods, if you change your environment, the body will adapt very quickly, and that's really all we're talking about when it comes to the processed foods. So this is a really, really simple tip, as it's stated, but it does come with a little bit of extra effort. You probably need to plan your meals. You might actually need to go, look up some recipes. You might need to get some new tools because it's not as simple as going and getting a TV dinner and warming it up in the microwave. Okay. And by the way, while we're on the top topic of microwaves, stay away from microwaves. Microwaves are absolutely bonkers. So, if you want to get these results, you can get them. Okay. This is not hard to do, but it's going to take some effort and some intention on your side. Now, for those of you who want a little bit more guidance and understanding how this works, we have our R72 challenge that's going to be starting very shortly, Sunday, October 20th. Okay, you guys will have the ability to sign up until Monday, the 21st of October. And we're going to be taking you down this path. Okay, so I just laid out 2 weeks. We're going to be taking you down a 30-day process where we're going to go over the preparation of the food. We're going to go over, how to transition into fasting. So to incorporate fasting in this, we're going to go, talk more about what foods you should eat. We're going to give you recipes. We're going to give you, you're going to have a live stream, so you'll be able to ask questions back and forth. If you guys need more help, guidance, then that's what we're doing. And we're doing it with a large group. We've already got a few hundred people signed up for the challenge. You're going to get invited into our secret membership area, and you'll be able to get the synergy of the group. You'll be able to interact with people who have already been successful, utilizing this type of protocol. And so that gives you confidence. That lets you know, okay, what I'm doing is working, and it's going to work as long as I work it. No one can do this for you or make it happen. We can't. It's not a done for you program, but we can guide you so that you can make less mistakes. And then on top of that, and this is one of the benefits, I think, we also have a ton of tools that we've developed throughout the I'll say probably going on a decade of experience that I personally have. Okay, the AHA brand has been here for about 7 years, but I started my wellness journey prior to that, right? And so we've got my almost decade of experience, as well as 4 other coaches who have a similar amount of experience and through a different perspective. So we've got everything from essential oils to light therapy tools to help you mitigate your appetite or reduce pain or headaches, or help you deal with the mental stress of fasting. Because losing the weight is actually pretty simple. You just understand a few things about how the body works. Maintaining weight loss is a little bit more complex, right? We have to dive a little bit deeper when it comes to that because of the habits we have and a lot of the social norms that make it acceptable to be gluttonous. So with the challenges, it's an investment on your part, but also on the coaching team part to really be concise about the information we provide. And one of the tools that we're really excited about are the light therapy patches that I mentioned a little bit earlier. It's something that we've been testing in our challenges recently, and we've been seeing some incredible results. The special thing about these patches is they're able to stimulate the body to increase stem cell production. So anybody who's familiar with stem cell production, you probably understand a couple things. Number one, stem cells can become anything that needs to be repaired in the body. Okay, it is like the original cell, and it can replace any other cell. So that's important. If you have damaged organs, if you have damaged tissue, if you have certain elements in the body that would look like they can't be repaired, or you're having a hard time healing, if you have proper stem cell production, it's almost like magic, right? Your body heals more efficiently, quickly, more completely. So we see pain relief, we see inflammation, reduction of inflammation, we see increased digestive elimination, which is very important as it relates to weight loss. But we also see interesting things like the skin becoming healthier, so people look more youthful. Fine lines are going away. People are starting to get their hair to start regrowing. We're also seeing hair start to get its color back. Stem cells are incredible. And so the light therapy patches have been able to do some pretty incredible things in the way of making you look and feel younger, as well as repair damage that, we've had several people, Coach Mel being one of them, who had a tear in the cartilage in his knee. and he got the imaging done, and the doctors are like, look, you're going to have to get surgery on your knee, okay? And his mobility was deteriorating pretty rapidly, honestly. I mean, he was, by the time I got him on the light therapy patches, he was already using a walking stick. And he's young. He's younger than me. So he started using the patches, and I think he's been on them for about going on 3 months, somewhere around 3 months now. Walking stick's gone. He's able to get up and down the stairs virtually normally. So we know for a fact that the light therapy patches have started repairing the damage that was there that the doctor said would essentially be permanent unless he got surgery. Okay, that's one of the 3 stories I have just like that, where people were told they're going to have to get knee surgery, shoulder surgery, and the patches were able to restore mobility, reduce or eliminate pain, and really give people their life back without having to worry about surgery. Okay, so we have added that tool to our challenge as an option at checkout. And then one cool thing we've done is we've added a pay in 4 option. So if you're interested in, utilizing something like the light therapy patches or the appetite suppressant teas, or you want to get an AHA journal or a caster pack or whatever the case may be, you can load your cart up, and then you could use the pay in 4 option, which will take your total amount and it'll break it into 4 payments over 8 weeks. So the goal here is to give you guys the most complete package possible, give you access to everything that you want, need, and really can benefit from, make it as affordable as possible, and then, of course, the rest is up to you to do the work, read the PDF guides, just be involved, ask questions so you can get the results, and then we can get you guys a testimony on YouTube or something like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Some really simple tips to help you lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks. If you guys want to join us for the R72 challenge, we are actually looking to lose 30 pounds over the course of 1 month, and we're going to help you do it as seamless as possible. And, I look forward to seeing you guys inside. I'll have a link in the comment section for you guys if you do want to join the challenge. I did mention earlier that the appetite suppressant tea was available. So if anybody is interested in grabbing the appetite suppressant tea, obviously if you join the challenge, that's going to be an option. But if you don't join the challenge, you just want to grab a tea, you can actually go to ahealthyalternative.org, hop in the shop. Okay, we have a shop on ahealthyalternative.org, and you can just grab the appetite suppressant tea. It's right there. All right, so I'm going to grab the link here for the challenge. It's going to take you to our landing page, and you guys can join the challenge. Like I said, it starts Sunday, October 20th, so we've got a couple more days left before the challenge officially kicks off. You guys will be able to join. If you're watching this on Monday the 21st, you'll still have time to join, but you want to make sure that you join sooner rather than later. Everything's going to be recorded, so don't worry about that. And like I said, we've already got a few hundred people signed up. It's going to be incredible. All right, so we got a couple questions here. First of all, you guys are very welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Can the patches repair nerve damage? So I got to be very careful with my words for legal purposes. So understand what I'm saying. The patches don't do anything. The patches don't do any of the repairing. What the patches do is it stimulates your body to repair itself. All right. Now, as far as I know, I've not seen the limitations on what the body can repair. Okay? So if you could read between the lines, then you understand what I'm saying. I think that I will highly recommend that you give them a go. All right? And also, if you guys aren't already a part of AHA communities, I highly encourage you, join ahacommunities.com. www.ahacommunities.com. Within AHA Communities, we have a group. It's called the LifeWave Group. If you join that group, you'll be able to ask questions about the patches. You'll be able to. There's plenty of testimonials, people that have had great experiences, and that you can get a very good idea. But I think that you'll. I think your body will respond to what it is you're looking for. Okay, I can say that. And like I said, you guys can grab the patches during the checkout process, or You could choose a package to get your challenge and the patches, and then, like I said, break those payments up. So it's a great option. Okay. All right, that's all I got for you this evening. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, the weekend. I hope to see you in the challenge, and I hope that this video was helpful. That's all I got. Peace. Good night. Listen, the next 30 days is going to happen no matter what. The R72 Weight Loss Challenge is for those who are looking to get more energy, clarity of mind, and those who want to lose 30 pounds in the next 30 days. Now, we're going to provide you guys with a guide that's going to give you exactly the information you need to be successful. You're also going to get invited to a secret membership area where you can interact with other people who have succeeded using this very challenge. You're going to get access to our advanced coaching team that consists of expert fasting strategists, weight loss professionals, and lifestyle advocates. Now, this is a no-nonsense challenge, so if you're ready to get the weight off and keep it off, click the link. Let's go.